Chris, this week you and your staff and the CEO and the players collectively have agreed to a partial pay and bonus deferrals during this pandemic. Can you talk us through the decision there and why you felt that was important?
Yeah, first and foremost, it's the least we can do to play our part. And we were asked by the football club, and myself, the staff, and the players have been in negotiations and talks about it through Billy as well. So yeah, it's important, as I've always said. We look after the club in the right way. Rob, it's not a big deal. I've had some lovely messages, and thanks for doing it. It's not a huge deal. The players will tell you it's not a huge deal. We feel that our profession maybe got a little bit of bad press at the start. People coming out of the traps and coming out with stuff that really they didn't need to. But I think the players have handled it magnificently. From a staff point of view, they understand. They support the decisions that I make and Steve Bettis makes as a CEO. And if there's a period over the next 6 months where we might be in a situation that this helps the football club, then it's the least that we can do.
What does it say though about the club that everybody, the staff, the players, CEO, they've all come together on this? It's sort of united front, really.
I think I said it when I took over. The club's been at its most powerful and gained momentum when it has been together, and it certainly wasn't 4 years ago. And it's just something that I've been consistent. It wasn't there was no connection between any part of the football club, and I think now you've seen over that sort of last 3 or 4 years that I'm prepared to make big decisions on behalf of the football club. The football club has to have the power over everything else. It has to be strong, and it has to be united. And anybody that comes into our football club has to recognise, the fundamental aspects that make us strong. And I'm sure, well, I'm certain that equates to what happens out on the pitch as well. The message from the players, the message from the staff. We're not individuals. It's not all about them. It's not all about how much I'm getting. Listen, we're all healthily paid. It's been a hell of a long journey to get to the top of the mountain. We're trying to keep at the top of the mountain as well. There's going to be bigger hurdles to get over if we want to, and certainly I do, establish ourselves as a Premier League club for years to come. It's not time now to take a backward step or to take breath and relax. We have to keep ploughing on and keeping the hammer down. And certainly, from our point of view, because we can't do it in the way that some other clubs would do it, we have to find a different way to gain results, to put in performances, and as always, to do that from our point of view over the last 3 or 4 years, we have to be together, and we certainly have been on this subject.
Overall, how do you think football is handling the crisis?
I think it's really difficult. I think there's so much speculation going on. The Premier League, the EFL, UEFA, whatever organisations has to and are working away. We're all working away now. Not everybody just sat in the back garden with their feet up and just trying to cruise through this situation. There's a lot of work going on, and people don't want to waste time. But there's so much speculation going on. We don't know. We're obviously all taking our lead off the government. Delighted what the players did, obviously from a Premier League point of view, from the captain's point of view. I think we all know locally that players from all our clubs in the region, Sheffield Wednesday players and Sheffield United players in the city, do enormous amount of charity work and work that goes unnoticed, and they don't want pain on the back for it. They do it because they want to do it, and they enjoy doing it, and they enjoy putting their stamp back on the city. And as I said, from a Premier League point of view, unprecedented times. Nobody knows which direction to go down. We're after leadership, and hopefully everybody can come together to, from a football point of view, to come out of it, and not just from a Premier League point of view. You know, there's an awful amount of clubs that, you know, I've had the experience from Rob. You know, 2 or 3 of the clubs that have not had great times from a financial point of view. And I should imagine the majority of clubs in the EFL live by game to game, by week to week, by month to month. So it's putting enormous strain, not just on the Premier League, but on our game and our pyramid as a whole.
The Dutch League are stopping their season, and a similar decision has been made by, I think, the top flight in Belgium as well. How likely do you think that is that it could happen over here?
I hope not. You know, I think it all came as a huge surprise and shock, and the speed of the decisions that were made. You know, we were getting ready to go up to Newcastle, and all of a sudden the Man City game was postponed, and then you know, pretty quickly we're all in lockdown, and nobody's ever experienced this at all. So first and foremost, I talked about, you know, not wanting to play games behind closed doors, and of course the excitement, the passion, the experience of playing in front of packed stadiums is something that we all relish from a supporter's point of view and from a players and a staff point of view. But that obviously has been taken away from us, and rightly so. And football has become second or third or whatever it is down the list of in the thought process. But I'm a big believer that we should finish the season off. If we have to finish the season off behind closed doors and restart it, let's not talk about the next season. Let's talk about finishing this season off when, obviously, and always, it's safe and healthy to do so for everybody concerned. But I think that what has come of this, and I should imagine there's going to be an awful lot of reflection on the football period and how football is run and governed and where the money goes, and I agree with that, because we want the right outcomes, because we want all these clubs to come through this situation, and there will be a reflection on it. But you know, I think it's important that, you know, we finish the season from a morale point of view as well. And you know, I think we're all in the same boat. We're all at home with. How much does football, how much does sport underpin our society in general? Well, I believe it's huge, absolutely huge, and it's shown it. And it's important from morale that we get some football back up and running, and that is the belief. And I know there's a huge enthusiasm from everybody in the game, especially at the top of the game, to get something back out there. So we can give the country a bit of a boost in terms of morale.
Does a time like this give you an opportunity to maybe consider some things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to think about at a time like this? Because you'd be in the middle of a season, then you've got a break, then a pre-season as well. Can you sort of take stock and plan a little bit during this time?
Yeah, we have done. We try not to waste too much time. You know, the players are at home working away there. You know, we talk to them daily through the coaches, me through the coaches through them. They're all split into groups. They're working away. You know, as I said, these are the boys that have, you know, not in a glamorous way of climbed to the top of their profession, and they're determined to stay there. They know it's not downtime. There's a lot of work going on away from the lights. They're desperate to get back into work. They're desperate to get back playing football. From our point of view, as a manager and a staff, we've reflected on what we've done, good things and bad things, how we can improve. We can't improve. I think everybody recognises that in Sheffield and at the top, in the top flight, that we're not a big player from a financial point of view. We've bridged the gap in the last 2 or 3 years in a different sort of way than just chucking money at it and just getting the checkbook out. We obviously have broke our transfer record over the last 2 windows 2 or 3 times in our own way. I should imagine, you know, this is big news, which I don't underestimate. Is it big news in terms of what he's spent in the Premier League? Possibly not. But from our point of view, recruitment, sports science, video analysis, technically, tactically, looking at things, all the staff have been working away and not wasting the time. So hopefully when we do get back playing, then we can implement a few of the things that we feel that we need to improve on and to bridge that gap.
Where could this club go, Chris? I mean, maybe it's a time to ask that question. How much potential does this club have still?
Well, I mean, listen, we sat in this position not by fluke, by a lot of hard work, and as you said, doing it in a different way. I think first and foremost, you know, we have to, you know, take stock. Obviously, when the season finishes, try to improve on every aspect of the football club, from an academy point of view, from a facilities point of view, from a fan experience point of view. We have to keep rolling it on and rolling it forward and improving it. But I think we all recognise, Sheffield United fans, that we'll do it in our own way and our own time. There isn't going to be a situation what's happened or looks like happening at Newcastle where somebody comes in and chucks 300, 400 million pound at it. You know, we have improved. We look to keep improving. We'll look to do our improvement from what we can control. And I'm sure the owners would like to take the club forward. That's been their plans. That's been their vision to me. And we just, you know, I think that, you know, the big thing is, for me, Rob, is that we establish ourselves in the Premier League and we talk about the fixtures against Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, all the clubs in the Premier League, you know, as annual fixtures, you know, and that has got to be to get a platform, to get a foothold in the division. I don't know what next year's going to bring. You know, we might have a host of injuries. We've been very fortunate, and there's been a lot of hard work that have gone into from the players and the staff in terms of keeping the players healthy. So we've had a good group to choose from, but it's not intimidated as the division as possibly people would have thought that it would. But it is still important that we keep moving forward in our own way. I ain't got a crystal ball. I don't know where we can go with the football club, but I'd like to think with the right investment, we feel fantastic support home and away that we've got. We've got a really good group of players that we want to add to. And we've got a group of good people around the football club that enjoy working for the football club. So the ingredients are there. I think everybody always talks about you know, I can't start talking about, you know, taking us to the next level when it's our first season here. So we'll enjoy what we've done. We'll regroup when the season finishes and try and replicate what we've achieved in this season so far.
A couple of quick final ones from me. How are you finding the lockdown personally? Any good stories?
No, not really. Frustrated, you know. But from a personal point of view, you're asking me. Of course, we're all frustrated that our normal lives have been unbelievably interrupted and disrupted. But looking at a bigger picture, the enormous work that's been going on and brilliant work by the frontline workers and people in the NHS and other people that are keeping the country going, I think it just shows you really what this country is about. When asked a question, when the fingers pointed at us, we come up with the goods, and everybody's working away. You know, everybody's adhering to lockdown, I should imagine, better than anybody in the government would have ever thought. I think there'd be a lot of reflection from a political point of view, from a social point of view, about what's gone off over this period. We have to make sure from those people that they get it right, because I think that a lot of other people are getting it right and doing as they're told in their walk of life, and enormous amount of people out there can be proud of what they've done. But yeah, I mean, I've worked from 16 to 52. I've been out the game for 3 months, so it's a completely different situation for myself personally. But one that we can't feel down about, slight frustration about it, can't feel down about, and hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel. We can all come out of this in a better shape, as better people. But certainly there's going to be an awful lot of work done, because not just from a health point of view, from an economic point of view, you know, it's been a big hit to us all.
Yeah, my final question was going to be about the NHS, and it's just great, isn't it? The country's rallied behind the key workers in Great Britain, isn't it?
Yeah, incredible. Everybody in every household will have a story. Everybody will be connected to somebody who's working away, whether it's delivery drivers, whether, you know, stuff that's not getting publicised, stuff that is getting publicised, the people that are working in the care homes and in the hospitals who are doing an amazing job, and who as I've just said, you know, should be looked at hopefully and reflected on through this period, and how much they are key to everybody in this period, and the brilliant work that goes on, brilliant work that's going on in our great city. You know, we have heroes on a Saturday and a Tuesday night, and but I think you know, it sort of puts it into a bit of perspective when the situation that we're going through, who really are the real heroes.